And you got me. Beautiful. Yep. Love it.
much got on the field. We'll try again in a second.
It is a very good evening and welcome to Rockdale Illiton Sports Centre, match day 19 of the NPL Men's New South Wales, as Sydney FC in 15th place take on a Hills United side in 13th. Both sides know how important it is to win this game as they fight to remain in the top flight in season 2025 in this 24 season. Nicholas Kutniak with you. Expecting a big game between these two sides. Both know what's on the line. The Hills, if they win tonight, they can start to make that gap even further away from either the relegation zone or the Pro-Reg game, while Sydney FC just need to win games to stay away from relegation at the very least and to try and get away from the Pro-Reg game as well. So it's going to be a fascinating game between these two sides. We'll go through lineups for both Sydney FC and Hills, the starting 11s, and starting off with Sydney FC, their starting 11 in goal, the number 40, Alexander Zavadinos. In 3 is Tyler Williams. In 4 is Joseph Kalusic. In 7, Oscar Fryer. Lachlan Middleton in 8. Diego Quintal in 10. Jacob Bazette in 13. In 22 is Will Kennedy. Watayu Camaggio in 24, Camilgio I should say, in 33 Matthias McAllister, and in 34 is Blake Bolwell. And for Hills, their starting 11 is Ryan Wood, goalkeeper number 1. In 5, Daniel Pekovsky. In 9, Yu Okubo. In 10, Jamal Belcardi. In 12, Jordan Lane. In 13, Cam Philp. In 15, Noah Casserly. In 19, Glenn Kelshaw. In 22 is Byron Ginn. In 27, Nikolai Muller. And in 49, Kela Agdenis. Our referee in charge is Java Ilibahini. We're just about right. Our assistants are Lance Greenshields and Paul Mixia. We're nearly right for kickoff here. Match day 19 is underway between Hills and Sydney FC, and Hills already on the attack in the early stages, but Akubo couldn't do much. Possession now for Kalusic, who works it on to the left. Could be a frightening game between these two. Both know how important it is to win, and to have a throw for Hills on that grandstand side of the ground. Let's see what Hills United can do. Coming into this game, it was a win over Central Coast 2-0 at Landon Stadium on Saturday. It was a great victory too, I might add, in that performance against CCM. So the ball was played up by Kalusic. Trying to go forward here, Sydney FC, but it's won by Hills as Muller trying to turn it over. It's been won by Sydney FC. Going forward again is Quintal. Trying to hold possession, can't. Play back by Pekovsky. Booted forward by Ryan Wood. It goes over halfway. Trying to chase it was in Cam Philp. can't get to it. Ball goes out for a throw on this near side, the broadcast side of Rockdale Illiton Sports Centre. For Sydney FC, a big win last week over St George FC 2-1. What has been a very lean year for Sydney FC. Just the 3 wins in NPL men's. Went over the Mariners back in March, and they had their first win of the season back here in round 2 against Manly. As I said, only 3 wins this year for Sydney FC. Haven't been overly flash. Knowing how important it is now to start going forward. As Middleton worked it on, ball eventually goes back into the middle to Bazette. Bazette's taken down the challenge. Play continues as now it's Bill Cardi taking down the challenge. Foul will be called towards Hills. Muller to take it. Very cool conditions tonight. Emil Pekovsky working it right, and Noah Casserly to Muller. You can spot Muller a mile away as ball played on by Agdenese. Pekovsky down the line. Lane can't get to it. Good control here by Sydney FC. At the end played out. You can see that Bolwell will go forward throughout the evening. And it's possession now for Fryer. Bulls couldn't quite control things there, but they initially won the possession. Now it's given after the challenge on Captain Will Kennedy. Can hear the wind coming in. Absolutely blowing a gale. Now Gantry here at Rockdale Illiton. Williams has possession. Tyler. Bolwell. Touch on from Fryer. Bolwell can't get to it. Milcardi played it on. Here's a Corbett. Corbett had support. Goes to Glenn Killshaw. Killshaw crosses it in. Had a man deep in Philp. He wasn't going to get to it. Trying to get to it was Lane for Hills, but couldn't. Goes out for a throw for Sydney FC. Sydney FC with Middleton. Eventually goes to this right side, played on from Bolwell. Hills able to win possession though. Sydney FC quickly have it. Bolwell taking down the challenge. Bill Cardi was looking for support. Goes back inside the Muller. Muller goes himself and then cleared initially by Sydney FC. Still turned over. Hills have a chance. Philp was trying to get a cross in. Couldn't. Cleared away. Drops down for Daniel Pekovsky. Pekovsky can't work it on. Eventually does find Philp. Sydney FC player taking down the challenge. Now goes the way of the Sydney FC side. Miljo was taken down. Will be Tyler Williams to take it. Williams going inside. Kulisic looking for runners. He goes back to Williams. He decides to try to go deep. No touch by Quintal. Eventually tapped back from Lane to Wood. Wood goes to the right. It's Casserly. Lane. Boots it over halfway. Phil went past him. Play back by Bolwell. Spinning it back is Captain Kennedy. Muller was able to play it down for Hills to Killshaw. Killshaw goes back to Muller. Muller was pressured in the tackle. Was taken down. He's trying to win possession along the ground though. Milcardi goes back. Sydney FC able to win the possession again. See if there's a chance down this left side. Ball comes in. Controlled by Fryer. Trying to work it back. At the end it's cleared by Hills. Will be a throw for Sydney FC. The white tonight. The all-white strip for what normally known as the Sky Blues Sydney FC. Not the case tonight. The all-white. Bilcardi is able to work it back. Phil. And Muller. Casserly. Down the line, Casserly finds support. Cross comes in by Jin. And this is a chance. A cool ball, can't control. Stopped off quickly by Zavadinos. Cool ball will be applying a lot of pressure tonight. Zavadinos did well in that situation. As I said, you can probably hear it, but it is absolutely blowing a gale here the night at Rockdale, to the point where luckily there's no dogs anywhere in sight, because it would blow a dog off a chain. It's that cold. As Bilcardi trying to beat the defender, but great work by Middleton. And Laughlin's able to work it on. Lucic, and on the left, it's Bazette. And Bazette is looking for support. Bazette goes himself. He might get a cross in. To touch Hills in the last dice. Yes, it did. And it will be a corner. On the clubhouse side of Rockdale Illiton. Will be taken by Quintal. So Quintal, left foot, will be an outswinger. Couple of bodies in the middle of that 18-yard box. Decides to shank it back, and ball was worked low by Kennedy. Hills trying to clear it eventually. Well, it's not the best of clearances by Jin, as ball was worked into the middle. And eventually it will be played on this left side for Sydney FC. They're trying to work it back. It touches off Hills, so it will be a throw again. Kennedy to take it. Captain Kennedy, the president, some people call him, take the throw. Hills scrambling to work it away. The initial effort by Pekovsky to header it down. The ball drops eventually to Zavadinos, who goes out of his box. He boots it over halfway, runs back into his boxes. Hills trying to win the ball quickly. The header initially this left side by Lane. Phil going to see if they'll use him. Lane decides to go back to Pekovsky. Pekovsky works it across the face. Finds here Casserly. Casserly back. Pekovsky going low. Casserly, well, not used in this situation. They go to Akadinis. Akadinis expecting big things from him today for Hills. Joined the side a few weeks ago at the top side. He's had time arranges Hills in the youth setups. Pekovsky works it low. And Lane can't get the ball. Did touch off Sydney FC in that last dice. Akorbot is calling for runners, goes back to Lane. Lane trying to work in the area, goes across. Kelshaw will have to try to find somebody back. He is going forward, he tries to cross it in. Nothing in, couldn't find the target initially. Goes back to Muller, Muller has a shot, deflects off. Comes back down. Not overly a strong header by Philp, who did cop a knock a couple of moments ago, just watching him. And he's sort of running with some sort of pain. So we'll be keeping an eye on Cam Philp. Cam Philp, of course, Hills boy through and through as Muller tries to work it across. Geez, took a wicked bounce, went across to Kennedy. Kennedy will be looking to go back to the right side. Bolwell. Sydney FC, Chauncey on this right side, Fryer. Oscar Fryer trying to work it on. Pekovsky, good work, but goes back to Fryer. Fryer looking to spin it to the left. Decides to go himself. It's been won by Bilcardi. Bilcardi taking down the challenge. Play does continue. Sydney FC have it. as Kulisic works it on. Mentioned the win last week against St George FC. They were down 1-0 here. Mount Rockdale Illiton scoring 2 goals. Sydney FC unanswered to win the contest. Hills winning that game nicely against the Mariners. Mariners play Wanderers tomorrow. One of the 7 games that will be on in NPL Men's New South Wales midweek fixture. The last time we have regular season matches scheduled for mid-season or midweek is the challenge at the end on Camiljo. He gets back up. What I mean by that, of course, we will have catch-up games during the middle of the week, but official rounds scheduled for middle of the week. We have 2 a year. That's how it's going to look like this season anyway. And as Eagle Eye punters would be aware that it is the same teams they play against in those midweeks in a bid to try to make it as close as possible as Bill Carty works it up. Kilshaw's going to try to run to this, but it's going to go back and Zavadinos gets to it. Of course, the anomaly in the situation where Sydney FC will have to play Hills in this situation. But for the most part, they've done well. Dennis with a card, of course, to note with that earlier challenge. Fryer works it back inside. Sydney FC trying to set up here, but again, Hills have it. Lane. McDenise is back to Perkovsky. Cassidy has it. Right centre back. To his white ring. Right wing, I should say. He's back to Cassidy. Now the control again. Philp able to go to Lane. He crosses it in. Bill Carty can't get to it. And Quintal was calling for it, but Middleton decided to go back. Eventually Middleton will work it back to Kulisic. Quintal does want to see more of the ball, the forward. They haven't as yet, Sydney FC, and that's going to be the concern. They haven't been able to utilise Quintal. It's been once, maybe twice, that he's had a real go of it. Now Fryer works it on. Fryer again. Ball goes to Camiljo. Camiljo on the right corridor. Bolwell and Camiljo again combining. Bolwell coming back. Ball across from Williams. Kodosic. And trying to control things, McAllister. Works it to the left. Coming back inside. It's a chance here. Brewing. Rosette. Rosette, he's got support. Kennedy on the left. Kennedy might go back to Rosette. Rosette now. Again, going to Kennedy on the left wing. Kennedy fires it in and cleared away. Great work by Lane. Get the pressure of Fryer on that far post. And what could have been, but not the goal coming yet for Sydney FC, but you can see one coming in a moment or two. If they can turn the pressure on. I was going to say turn the heat on, but don't even think that could be the case tonight. Quintal. Corner taken. Easily saved by Ryan Wood. Northbridge youth player. He's made his way to Hills and be looking to continue his run up the ranks. Number 1 goalkeeper, did spend some time, of course, at MacArthur FC and Dulwich Hill, senior football, but he's made a home here at Hills United. Cassidy. Denise was able to work it on. Kelshaw, Denise, and now the ball by Belcardi, and Kelshaw's ball wasn't flashed. Kulisic found support. Fryer was able to work it back to Quintal. Fryer's trying to chase, but he can't. Cleared away by Wood. The ball goes out for a throw on this near side. working the 16th minute. And the scoreline is 0-0. Sydney FC and Hills United doing battle. Bit of a story today heading into this game. I got some tidbit of information that I find fascinating. Have we ever had the situation that a teacher and a pupil are playing in the same game together or against each other? Well, tonight is the case. Daniel Pekowski, who plays for Hills, well, he was Bozette's teacher at St. Luke's College of the Northern Beaches. Jacob Bozette completed his HSC last year, but a real good story. Teacher and student. Who becomes the master? That's going to be the big question during the night. If they do challenge against each other, Smuller take this set piece, he'll work it back. Bukowski across the face. Casserly on this right side. Casserly spinning back. Zach Denise. Bukowski. Casserly. Right side. Cross comes in. Killshaw can't control. Kalusic is able to play it up. And now the Sky Blues in white today have a chance to go forward. Quintal was calling for it. He's got it now. He lays it back. Camiljo goes to Fryer, trying to cut the defence, but couldn't quite. So again, the ball is worked across by Camiljo. Good skill again by the Sky Blues. There's the shot, comes back for Fryer to knock it home, and Fryer's got the goal. Great play by Sydney FC. They've got the opening goal. Well, Fryer got himself in a good spot. The Hills clearances haven't been great. Came off the back of a pass from Camiljo. Now going back to the left side, Middleton found support. And there was a cross that came in by Bozette. Knocked in the middle. It was touchdown first time by Wood. Comes back for Fryer, and Fryer knocks it home to make it 1-0. So 1-0 in this one between Sydney FC and Hills United. As we've got a situation here. So maybe a change of flag or something. Actually, in fact, is coming down the left-hand side. It's been a change of the fourth official and the linesman. So now the linesman has become the fourth official, and the fourth official has become the linesman. That's what's happened. Thinking for a second it was a change of flag, then realised no, that's what's happened. So there you go, interchange. I don't think we really have interchanges like that, but there you go. So Hills losing possession. You can see Killshaw wants to try to do something for this Hills side, but Sydney FC have the advantage. As Williams and Kalusic combine again. Williams works it over halfway. Header comes down, and well, the control there is not too bad by McDenise after the header from Philp. It's Casserly, Killshaw back to the right. Killshaw has possession from Gin. Killshaw, or I should say, go again there, Casserly. Ball's been turned over. It's now Sydney FC, have it on the right side. Fryer's trying to get onto that Quintal ball, couldn't. And again, it's on the left side. Killshaw fighting for possession. Kennedy was able to defend his heart out before the ball was saved by Zavadinos. As now, Sydney FC going forward again. Quintal works his way into the area. Played out. Casserly, good defence. Will be a corner on the far side. Don't forget you can get your comments in via X and Facebook. Hashtag NPL NSW. Get all your thoughts in. Good, bad, different. Doesn't matter. We love your support. Football New South Wales on YouTube. Short corner taken. Brazett has it. Brazett. Then the ball from Kennedy. Just couldn't really clear it, Muller. Been defending in the last couple of minutes, Hills, and it's been a concern because you can see Sydney FC might break him down again. Justin Davies watching the coverage tonight. He's got a couple of good jokes that we might not use in relation to some names that we can go with. He's thinking about hot dogs from The Simpsons, Oscar Mayer wieners. Also, Oscar Fryer. I've got in my mind Fryer Tuck. That's how I'm remembering his name, Fryer Tuck. References that the kids of today probably would not know as Pekowski works it down the line. Lane's going to get onto the end of this. Lane has to work it back. Good pressure by Fryer. And it will be a corner, but that's the pressure you're looking for from King Fryer. And it will be a corner on this near side. Very cool evening, as we mentioned a few times now, but one that's fascinating to see that only a few players have got the skins on. Everybody still going the short sleeves. I think it's about 3 players that have got the compressions on. Not much doing here, Hills. Sydney FC trying to clear this. It goes back to Muller. German international is able to work it back. Actonez. Ball by Lane. Probably wasn't the one you're looking for. Belcardi couldn't do much with it. Quintal has it. Works it on. Camiljo. Fryer on the right. Works it back in. This is a chance for Quintal, but again the pressure by Hills. Will go out for a goal kick, but the pressure is on. Spinning around, Actonez. 1-0 the score, Sydney FC scoring the opening goal. Fryer, the goal scorer, Oscar Fryer. Kelshaw. Again, couldn't do much with it. Gin will be a Sydney FC foul going their way as well. Coolish night. Tomorrow we've got 7 games for you. I'll be at Wanderers Football Park for Wanderers and Mariners, exclusively live on Football New South Wales on YouTube, where you'll be able to see all the action. Blacktown City and Manly United 7:30 at Landon. Marconi Olympic at 7:30. Sydney United and Spirit at 7:30. As Kelshaw tries to get onto the end of it, Kalisic plays it out. Will be a throw on the far side. Wollongong and Sutherland at 7:30. Apia and St George City at 7:45, and St George, Saints and Rockdale here tomorrow at 8 p.m. So they're the games you'll be able to watch on Football New South Wales on YouTube. Some cracking games coming up. And then on the weekend we've got more for you as we come to what's a fascinating time of the year as we work out who's going to A, win the premiership, B, who's going to make it into the finals, and C, who's going to be in or out of the relegation zone and pro-reg playoff game. Pro-rel game will be interesting as Muller gets the foul going his way. It's all fascinating what's happening in the next 12 to 13 weeks. Finals back this year. Grand final day going to be a cracker. Now, here's a chance again. Spins around here, Brezet. Works it back. Quintal. Brezet will get a cross in. Cleared by Perkovsky. The teacher beats the student on that situation. Ball comes back. Camiljo can't do much with it. Belcardi has it for Hills. Belcardi again looking to go forward. Belcardi, foul goes his way. Okay, that's positive. As now Hills again come back to the centre of the field. And Perkovsky working it back. Cassidy going to the right side. Gin combining with his captain Kelshaw, and Gin worked it back eventually. Cassidy. Ball up by Perkovsky. Middleton nearly lost it. Sydney FC again. Coming to the right side of Fryer. Fryer's going to come into the middle. Fryer now looking for support. Well, wasn't ready for it. Quintal in that situation. To mind you, that ball was interesting by Philp. Wood had to clear it. Wood just getting onto the end of it. So we've got an early substitution too. Kubo making his way to the bench. And Anthony Franchi comes on, so early change. Kubo did not look good in the last couple of minutes as Fryer will cross it in. A chance, had to be cleared, didn't get cleared. Brezet's got a chance. Brezet, he'll have to work it back. He does so, goes to Kennedy. Kennedy comes back down to this left side. Brezet is there. He's got support. He might drive himself into the area. Kelshaw was beaten. Brezet works it in. Oh, Fry gets a little header on. Didn't have much touch on it. And the save is made by Ryan Wood, but a big change. Anthony Frangi, who will play the remainder of the game. So Kubo off, Frangi on. And that's going to make things interesting. Frangi, the former Ranger, scored some great goals last year. Ball was out in that passage of play, though. So the ball was on halfway. Oh, good ball by Belcardi. Philp, can he get to it? No. He can't. Ball goes out for a goal kick. Tell you one thing. I was thinking about this before. Portable heater about now wouldn't be a bad idea. We call them the elements, which I gotta say I do love calling from up here at Rockdale Illiton, and the gantry we've got up here. It's one of the great gantries, and now we've got cover over the top, so if it ever rains we don't get it too badly. But the only problem is, because it's in the open air, we get the wind, so you can't do anything about it. You're just going to live with it like the players. They get to experience the cold tonight as Muller can't get onto the end of it. See, they're lucky though, they can move around. Basically, I'm not moving. Throw taken by Philp. Frangi trying to work it back inside the Belcardi. That doesn't work. So the ball goes out for a throw. Anthony Frangi this season, he has scored 3 goals. So Kubo has scored 5, the most for Hills this season. As Lane works it back, and here's Muller's pass, and then Actonese tries to find support. Lane was able to work it back, had a dipsy doodle as well in the process. Frangie was trying to cross it in, touches off Sydney FC. Will be a throw on this near side. Vilcardi tries to cross again. In position is Middleton. Young Lachlan is able to stop it. Did touch last off Hills to be exact. It was one last touch. I reckon they've called when the ball was going to go out. Regardless, will be a chance for Sydney FC to go forward now. Dinos worked it to halfway. Kilshaw's got a chance for Hills. Kilshaw trying to get on to Philp. Cleared away. Did himself a good favour there in Bolwell to get onto it quickly because it looks like Hills off and running. Would have been a great goal for them. But defence holding out. Corner on this side. Frangie works it in. So much curl he didn't need, but this wind is going to pick it up. The wind did pick up in the last couple of moments too. It's going to play havoc for the players, being serious. This might not be a good thing during the evening. Frangie back. Frangie, back heel. Jin couldn't control. Sydney FC go forward again. Quintal. Trying to cut back inside, didn't quite work. You can see that they're setting up momentum here. Frangie. Pressured by Williams. Frangie tried to beat Kennedy, couldn't. Ball worked on. Fryer has it on this right side. Fryer looked to cut back inside. Nice touch. Back around Quintal and the ball to Quintal from Camille Jo. And Quintal to low worm burner Mungle finger breaker. It goes out for a goal kick. Did not do anything really. In a positive light. So ball comes back, played by Williams. Then the ball was booted by Zavadinos. Actonese was able to go to the right to Kelshaw, back to Actonese. Actonese couldn't do much. This ball goes back to Casserly. Now Pekowski on the left. Pekowski, a low ball. Frangie looking for a chance to set up. He chips it forward. Killshaw would have been offside. Lane is onside. Crosses it in. Well, Philp has to run back for it. Philp will play it back to Frangie. Frangie, good effort. Did just get a touch by Zavadinos, who just touched it away, but it was a great chance. Frangie could have scored one of those almighties. He's known for doing it time to time, and that would have been an almighty blow. 1-0 Sydney FC lead, but that would have been a great goal. 1-0 after 36 minutes. And it is a fascinating game here. Killshaw to take this one. He decides to work it low. Backheel by Franchi. Killshaw trying to drive himself in. Get away by the Sky Blues. Looking for a foul. It's going to go their way, though. Way he came in, but one of those situations where the right call's been made on the foul, but Kennedy was always going to be taken down that light, and the foul was always going to be given. The way it was worked back by Franchi was a good little setup. And when Killshaw tried to drive himself in, and Killshaw was just moving too much when he lost possession and hit the player, or they collided into each other is probably the better term to use. Ball comes to Muller. Muller loses it, but he gains it again. It's played on by Bill Carty. Chin was looking for runners. He found Franchi. He chips it on. Bill Carty back. Philp loses it. That's what they can do. Sydney FC, they are quick. Camiljo on that situation. Ball goes out. Quintal was trying to control it, couldn't. Throw to be taken on this near side. Lane works it into Belcardi. Belcardi's pressured by Williams. Ball is played out by Williams. Will be a throw. Lane again will take it. So Lane takes the throw. Franchi works it back. Belcardi loses possession. Sydney FC going forward. Fryer has it. Does touch off here. Philp. Well, Sydney FC been defending well, but you think Hills in the last couple of minutes might have something on. If you just joined us, it's 1-0. Sydney FC lead Hills United. Nicholas Kutniak with you. Football New South Wales on YouTube. NPL New South Wales men's week 19 action. Midweek football, we love it. As now Franchi was nearly taking that challenge. He was by Bolwell. And Quintal touches it on. Then Middleton utilises Brazette. Brazette has got Killshaw on him, but Brazette had so much room, he could have bought 3 mauls and filled him. And it's been won by Hills. Here's Pekovsky. Pekovsky goes to the left. And now the cross in by Philp. It's headed away, but Pekovsky tried to hit it down. Well, Sydney FC have been able to get away with that, and now on the counter they have it. Fryer works it on to the left. And it's a chance again. Brazette. Sydney FC. They can get another goal before the break. They'll have the confidence that they do need. Chipped up the line. Tarkovsky was able to chest it down. McDenise was trying to boot it forward for Killshaw, but the angle wasn't there. The score remains 1-0. Hills United trailing Sydney FC. The opening goal of the game was scored by Fryer. Here at the wind tunnel, Hills have possession. Muller. Nice touch inside. Killshaw and Muller combining now. Killshaw back. But the work by Gin in the first place was good. Bukowski has it on the left. And he works it on. Philp. Lane. Lane might need to go back to Philp. No, he tries to cross it. Does touch off Fryer. Now Lane crosses it deep, but nobody on the far post or near it. And it will be a goal kick. Cold night in June. A game that means so much, and We know how far away it is till the end of the year, but still, the context that the next couple of weeks always fashion it to golf on a moving day situation. It feels like it is day 3 when you're trying to move forward. The next couple of weeks are like that. Bazette trying to, well, Bazette's going to come back for it, but Quintal trying to go again for the third time. It was McAllister. I was looking to go forward. Now it's Kolusic. See more of McAllister. Miljo working it to Bolwell. Fryer. And now on the left. Brissett again. Brissett tries to work it in. Oh, Hills have to clear it. Pekovsky, good work to boot it away. Bilcardi played it down. A foul goes the way of Sydney FC. I do want to see this again because it was very close to going in. Pekovsky was able to put his foot on it at the right moment. Bazette got a cross in. Yeah, it was touched down initially by Wood as well. Now, let's see what he can offer up here. Quintal works it in. Sydney FC, can they work it back? Cardi was able to work it on to Pekovsky. It was a death touch, but it was a bit on it for Pekovsky to work it to Kelshaw. Pekovsky is forward here as Actinis is able to win it, working on Belcardi. Actinis was trying to get himself in position, Actinis, but couldn't. Ball chops back for Casserly. And now it's Gin. Touch on Frangie. Works it on to the right, Kelshaw. Kelshaw again. Crosses it in. It's a chance. The header is in. Gin in position. That was streaming forward. And Hills have got the goal. Just watching what Gin was able to do because he came from the back, worked it on, and then it was Frangie who went right to Kelshaw and then gets himself in a lovely spot for the header. It's a great goal. It is a brilliant effort. I didn't expect Gin to have the pace because I'm thinking, wait a minute, that can't be Gin. Didn't I just see him halfway a moment ago? It was, and he's got the goal. Well, there you go. Hills have got the equaliser. It's 1-1. Fabulous stuff here at Rockdale Illiton. And we look at the board, about to come up, of how much additional minutes we have. We're in the 45th. Board comes up, and it will be, we'll get confirmation on that, just didn't get shown on this side of the ground, so Forthy just hasn't shown it for us, but I'm going to guess 1 minute, but as I said, it's only a guess, and that's about it. There's now Belcardi. Oh, is that a handball? It is. Was called. So Fryer and Gin, the goal scorers. So Rosette trying to go forward, touches off Hills. Half time was just a minute of additional time added. And the score here is 1-1 between Sydney FC and Hills United. Gin scoring the goal just before the break, and Fryer with the initial goal for Sydney FC. 1-1 the score. It is NPL New South Wales men's midweek match week 20 or match week 19 action will break on the other side of this. We'll have the second half between Sydney FC and Hills. We welcome you back to Rockdale Illiton. Second half about to start between Sydney FC and Hills United. 1-1 the score. And the goal scorers, Brian Gin for Hills United scored the cracking goal late in the piece, and Fryer the opening goal of the game. What will happen in the second half? That's going to be the big question. We're 45 minutes away in a crucial game for both sides as they fight to stay in this competition. Might be overstating that in some regards, but in saying that, Sydney FC know that this is pretty much a situation where they need to start winning the games they've got in hand if they are to stay in this competition. 2017, they started their venture in the top flight of NPL after winning in 2016 the NPL 2 title as it was known back then. They've started the second half peppering this Hills side. Not much doing really. Headed down by Kolosic. Kelshaw has it. Muller's going to be careful where he puts his hands as the ball is worked on. And Actonese has it, and he works it left side. Hills now on the counter and working it forward, but the ball by Philp wasn't great. Fryer works it down the line. Bukowski has it on the left, works it back in. Actonese works it back. And we start to look at how this second half is going to go for both sides. Hills have already made a change, as I mentioned in the first half. Okubo off and Frangi on. Injury by Okubo, as now the ball is worked inside. Kinley nearly found support, but at the end the foul will go the way of Hills. You can see the chances they are going to try to create. Those benches incidentally for both sides. Hills, Cross, Giovanali, O'Connor, Yona and Yako are the remaining players on the bench. As I said, one change made. Hartning, Mathia, Rose, Callahan, Kazawaya and Mao I should say, the substitutes for Sydney FC. Kelshaw back, Frangi. Nice little touch on the Frangi by Jen. Frangi trying to drive himself in, can't. Sydney FC win it. Fryer again, really getting himself involved. Ball back in by Bazette. Fryer works himself in the position to take the shot, but going over the bar, and the score remains 1-1. Kennedy just wanted a drink of water. As Bazette touched it on. McAllister goes back to Bazette. Brezette now will be looking for support. Brezette goes back and finds Camiljo. He'll work it on. Touch by Williams. And Fryer gets it back in. Quintal setting. And at the end, it goes wayward to the left. Score remains 1-1 here at Rockdale Illiton. So Wood works it on to Pekowski. Hills on this left side. A lot to be done if they are to take the prize tonight. 3 points on the line for both sides. Desperately needed as Kelshaw has it on the right. Kelshaw works his way into the box. Kelshaw will need to cut back inside. Kelshaw looking. He works it back. Belcardi scuffed it to the left. Takes a U-turn. And No, the flag is up for offside, so they've called the offside on Frangie, I think. Regardless, the flag did go up. But the U-turn nearly paid dividends. Ball was near halfway. Belcardi lost it, but Frangie won it. Worked it down the left. Cross comes in. Philp will come back. Philp working it back inside. Muller's not going to get to it. Brazett does for Sydney FC. He worked it on. Middleton goes right. Oh well. Again, Fryer was looking to go up the line. Touched off Hills. Will be a throw on the far side. This chilly night in Rockdale. Don't forget, tomorrow night we have got a game here. Rockdale will take on St George. Is now Brazett cutting himself in. A chance, safe first time, but the second time it's knocked home. McAllister, great work. Wood again parried it back to an attacking player for Sydney FC. McAllister was in position to score the goal. Well, what about that? What about the effort from Sydney FC? They have been one of the form sides in regards to bouncing on, to use a basketball term, a rebound. It does bounce off the keeper, Ryan Wood, and it's a great position for McAllister to be in after the initial shot was deflected. 2-1, they've got the lead again. Fryer, the first goal of the game, and now McAllister. Matthias. For Matthias this season, he scores his first goal. Also the case for Fryer, who's scored his first goal of the year. Incidentally, goal scored for Hills was via Byron Ginn, I should say. And scored his opening goal of the year as well. So a couple of firsts tonight, or 3 firsts to be exact for the season. As the ball comes back and it's booted forward. So for Dinos. Sydney FC have scored the opening goal in both halves. It's all about utilising it. Nicholas Kutniak with you on this Tuesday evening. Don't forget, half an hour after the game, you'll be able to read the report. Nicky Brock doing it tonight. And you'll be also able to watch the highlights of this one. Killshaw back inside. Frangie and Killshaw combine. Killshaw works it up the line. Belcardi was pressured. He's trying to turn around. Belcardi's beaten. And this is good work again. Played on for Middleton. Fryer. Fryer spins. Fryer chips it down the right side. And it's cleared first time. It's going to come back. Hills can't do much with it. Brazett just lobbed it up. Fryer's going to try to get to it. It's headed down by Casserly. Still on the ground here, Brazett. Fryer's won it for Sydney FC. It was played to him by Casserly. It's worked into the middle, but Pekovsky's there. Pekovsky's able to work it on the lane, and Lane now utilises Muller. Muller, the former Wanderer. He cuts around, and Muller going forward. Works it down the left side. Philp's got pace. Philp keeps it in the field of play. He works it back into Frangie. Frangie back heel. Muller and Frangie combine again. Frangie works it in. A chance, but saved. Zavadinos in position to make the save. Zavadinos, the Sydney FC player, of course, spending time in youth, now in first grade at the club. Been at Sydney FC for a long time now. These conditions, as I said, are very cold. So McAllister actually scored 2 goals last week. To apologise, the stats that I was able to acquire off the competition's website Might be just off, just a touch. Yeah, McAllister scored the 2 goals on Friday. I knew something wasn't adding up. Ball comes in. Again, Sydney FC trying to hold control. Foul called on Brezet. Ball working to the mixer. Head of the way by Hills. As again, it comes back to the left side. Fryer works it in, deviates off Hills. Here's a chance. Brezet again just couldn't knock it over. Wood saves it this time around. Now on the right side, it's Frangi. McAllister scored 2 goals against St George last Friday. Scored obviously tonight. Ball was played out. Will be a throw for Sydney FC. Rinse and repeat. Fryer worked it back inside Quintal. Quintal loses possession. Ball drops back. Sydney FC coming to the left. Brezet will have to cut back inside. Brezet going left. Brezet wants to have a shot. He can't. He'll have to work it back. He does. And it goes across here. And he couldn't do much, Quintal, in that situation. Ball drops back to Kennedy. Kennedy down the left side. Kennedy going forward. Kennedy will have to work it back. It does touch off. Work by Hills. Gene, it will be a corner, but still a good chance coming up for Sydney FC. To be taken by Quintal, will be an out swinger. It's headed away by Hills, but still a chance for Sydney FC. Does deflect off. Kelshaw trying to get to it, can't. Ball goes across to Quintal, lobbed it high and over the top. Goes out for a goal kick. Again, Hills. Have to stop the Sydney FC side that are starting to scheme, but it's been won by Hills. Muller has possession. Muller's got support. Trying to slide it through to Kelshaw. Will stop first time by Kennedy. Then he gives away. Well, he hasn't given away in the foul. Now he has. As soon as I said he hasn't, he has. The challenge on Kaya Actoniz was taken down just outside the box. It's a great chance coming up for Hills United. This will be outside the box. Frangie. Six-man wall, Frangie hits the wall. It bounces away. It bounces to Frangie. It just bounced off him. And now possession here on this left side. It's worked back from Williams. Brissett going right. Fryer can't get his foot onto it. Coming back. Here's Lane. Lane will get it on. This is Pekowski. Pekowski utilising support. So can they set up here as Actonese is able to go back? And it's played down the line by Pekowski. Actonese again has it. He touches it back. It's drifted forward by Philp, who comes down. Kalusic up the line. Quintal. Quintal works it back inside. Middleton. Bolwell back inside the Fryer. Fryer again. Fryer working it right. They're starting to set up again here, Sydney FC. But Hills again shut it down. Ball played down the line by Lane. This is Williams. Inside. Miljo was able to work it right eventually. Sydney FC have to go back to halfway. Miljo has it. Williams has Kalusic wider, but Miljo's the target. Back to Williams. Williams, Camiljo down the right side and spinning around is Fryer. Fryer wins possession nicely. Fryer works it up the line. This is a chance. Has to be crossed in. It is. Brissett's in position. He can't get to it. Foul's going to be called. Penalty has been called. The challenge on Brissett has been called. Wow. What about that? It was a ball that was crossed in. I think it was McAllister who crosses it in, deviates off Hills, and then he gets taken down, Brissett, and the penalty has been called. And you got the feeling now that Sydney FC are about to go 3-1 to the good. 62 minutes elapsed. Will be taken by Fryer. Scored the opening goal of the game. Can he make it a brace? It will be Wood. He'll be challenging. Wood having a chat to the referee involved. Wood and Fryer. Fryer moves in. That's goal 2 for the game. A brace for Oscar Fryer. And Sydney FC go 3-1 up here at Rockdale Illiton. So a 2-goal lead can be dangerous, but the way Sydney FC playing, it could mount. Substitutions will be made. O'Connor, Giovanali, and Sunday Yono about to come on. Remember when these two teams met, Hills won 4-2 in round 4 at Landon. This round 19 fixture, it's changing. Subs are being made as we speak. Ball's off. Belcardi off. And the other player to see the pine will be Lane. So they're the substitutions for Hills United. They've made a triple change. And they'll try to attack forward. Giovanali works it back. You see the pressure, but they have to try something here, Hills, if they are going to win this one. As I said, a triple change has been made. O'Connor works it back inside. Frangie trying to go forward, take it down. The challenge foul will be called. Frangie was looking to go quick. Frangie won't take it down. It'll be Killshaw and Frangie back to Killshaw. Now it goes on. And O'Connor. It's played back. Actonese, who's played well today. Interesting to see how he does chill on this hillside. As Kilshaw has it on the right. Kilshaw works it up the line. Sunday Yona was the target, but Kalusic was there in the first place. Ball goes back to Frangie for Hills. Frangie trying to hold court, can't. Ball goes back to halfway. Laid down by Casserly. Pekowski going forward. Fryer was on him. Worked it on. Got to be better here, Hills. They've got to set up these opportunities because time is starting to tick away a bit. 2-goal margin, but Sydney FC have been better. Giovanali can't get onto the end of this. It's Bazette that works it forward for Sydney FC. McAllister now has it on the left. McAllister, can he work it back inside? He does. Comes back and eventually Quintal and Middleton combined. It goes back to Middleton from Quintal, back to Quintal. Quintal goes left. And Kennedy works it back to Kalusic. Kalusic across the face. And now going forward is Williams. Williams up Main Street. He'll look to go right, and he does so. Sydney FC, if they can get another goal here, it would be game over. 3-1. They are looking the better of the two. There's no question about it. Fryer outside the box, works his way in, has to cross it in. He goes himself, and it goes out for a goal kick. Repeating, 3-1. The score, Sydney FC. 2 goals tonight for Oscar Fryer. One of them was a penalty goal. One of them was the opening game goal. And Matthias McAllister, the other goal scorer. Hope you enjoy the action tonight from Rockdale Illiton. We've got more games coming up for you tomorrow, 7 to be exact. Looking forward to being at Wanderers for the clash between Wanderers and Central Coast Mariners tomorrow. They're about to make a change to Sydney FC. Kasawaya, I should say, is warming up. Jimmy Van Weeren about to make the sub. Yona couldn't get control. Kilshaw tried to poke it forward. Ball deviates back to keeper Zavadinos. Now they come to the left. This is Jacob Bazette. Bazette now looks to cross in. Bazette's going himself. He cuts in nicely. Bazette again going middle. Bazette works it back. Here's the chance. Quintal low, saved by Wood. Yona running forward. Kalusic plays it down. Kennedy going back. And Williams looking to reassess his options. Goes down to Middleton. Middleton up to the left. Brozette now goes forward. Brozette's got a chance. Brozette's in the area. Brozette, can he cross? He does so well. He was trying to cross, but then he went for the shot really and went out for a goal kick. So substitution being made as we speak.
Substitution for Sydney FC, number 13.
And coming off the field after having a good session to Barzette. And coming on will be in Kasawaya. So that's the sub. So now the ball goes over halfway. Yona. Ball goes out for a throw. Taken by Philp. Frangie coming back. Prekowski pressured. Frangie had it. Fryer pressure again. He does play it out for a throw on the far side. So Hills United on the charge again. As I said, they need to score in the next couple of minutes just to halt their cause. Giovanali can't control. Camiljo going forward, working it on. Kasawaya found support. Quintal back. Williams. Camiljo found Quintal. Quintal coming back to Williams. Williams will go to Camiljo. Kudusic, Camiljo combining again. And it's played on to Middleton. Middleton wasn't really ready, but he goes to Williams. Bolwell down the right side is Fryer. Fryer now will cut back inside. He's got a chance here. Defenders on him and Bukowski. Foul will be called. Bukowski was on him, and the foul has been called. And a chance to go again. It's been fired out by Cam Philp. Sydney FC may well score another goal here in the next moment or two. We're in the 70th. Here at Rockdale Illiton. Headed down by O'Connor. O'Connor's got possession again. Boots it forward. Williams couldn't control it. Ball goes out for a throw. Far side of the ground. Ball goes over halfway. Yona can't control it. Middleton has it for Sydney FC. Kudusic. Left corridor. Kennedy cuts inside. Reflects. And O'Connor did find the support. Then the ball was back inside by Killshaw to Franchi. Back to Killshaw. Now again spinning around is O'Connor. Sean O'Connor. Back to the left to Bukowski. Franchi is now on the right side. Giovanali will be looking to cross in. Giovanali trying to win the ball. He did so. Giovanali can't control. Williams played it up. Comes back down. And Actonese has it. Flicked on by Giovanali. Actonese on this left side. He's got Giovanali. Actonese tried to cross it in. Does reflect off. Goes out for a throw on the far side. There is a goal coming. The question is when. Yona can't get to it. McAllister going forward. McAllister working it back inside. Played on by Killshaw. Fired up in the middle by O'Connor. Yona. Killshaw can't get to it initially. The ball was played forward by Sydney FC. Hills again on the right. Franchi won't get to it. Oh, the challenge yet. It's going to be called on Kasawaya. Kasawaya taking down the challenge. Franchi's got to be careful. If you just joined us, 3-1 the score. Sydney FC lead. 2 goals for Fryer today. Ball is worked across by Quintal. Does get back. Camiljo to the right. Chip forward. Bolwell was trying to find the support, but Hills were able to clear it. O'Connor. Bolwell can't get to it. Good challenge. At the end, it will be Sydney FC's throw. Bolwell and Philp both trying to get to it. And it won out for Sydney FC the way it all ended up. Throw taken. Williams works it on. Fryer crosses it in. Quintal can't get to it. Killshaw's going to win it on the turnaround. Good work by Killshaw. O'Connor. O'Connor. Now a chance again. Pull on by Philp. Franchi's on the left. Franchi might have to cross it in now. He decides to wait for a chance to work himself in. Franchi takes a good shot, but the save again. Savatinos. Good save. Franchi nearly had an almighty beauty, but not the case. We expect it, but it's not happening. Oh. Everybody's pacing at the moment thinking there's going to be this Frangie beauty. It's not happening yet. I tell you what, though, he's close. Frangie's going to score one of those great goals in a second. You've got to be ready for it. He's had a couple of decent cracks today. We do want a Frangie beauty. It's now Sydney FC. Fryer works it in. Oh, again, the clearance, well, it was okay initially, but he played it straight to a Sydney FC player. But Jin, you know what he can do on his day. Jin has position and possession. Position and possession. Now, Castley. And it goes on to Actonese. Frangie going back to Actonese. Castley on the left. Goes back to the right. Jin over halfway. Killshaw tried to knock it back in. Touches off Sydney FC. Will be a throw. Quickly taken. Yona trying to get to it. Yona can't control. Kadulsic, good position. Williams, but the handball was called. Handball was called. Ball punched through by Castley. Pekovsky. Here they come again, Hills. Frangie works it back inside. Phil couldn't do much with it. And again, they roll forward on the right side, Sydney FC. Quintal just couldn't cut back inside enough. Sky Blues on the attack. Didn't do much on that situation. Now Hills with Killshaw coming back. Played on by Jen. Castley. Castley works it up to halfway. Frangie again was calling for it, but he was probably too short, to be honest, for Philp to use. What a game it has been for Fryer. Works it on. McAllister will be looking to work it on. Fryer's got a chance. He sets it up now. Killshaw was able to be in a good spot to at least stifle the run of Pearson Kasawaya. He's done well there to stifle the run, and Wood was able to get on the spot. It's all going forward again. Camiljo, and now here's a chance. Fryer will have to tuck it back inside. He does. Here's a chance again for Quintal, but it's saved. Good work again by Wood, who bowls it over to the right to Killshaw. Killshaw sneaks it back in. O'Connor on the left corridor. Hills. A goal is mounting for them, you'd think. They need one anyway. Giovanali wasn't in a good spot. Kennedy was able to find support. Pearson Kasawaya. Now comes back to Kennedy, the captain. Kennedy again, possession. Middleton playing it to him. Kadulsic, Kennedy. Middleton coming back. Playing it on to Williams on the right. 3 changes about to be made for Sydney FC. As Fryer's offside. Those changes, incidentally, Callaghan to come on alongside Dylan Rose and Ayuk Mao. Callaghan, Rose and Mao to come on. Coming off the field, a good shift by Camiljo. The first change is Rose comes on officially. McAllister will make his way off the pitch, and Fryer too. Coming on is Callaghan, as I said, for McAllister, and Fryer comes off and Mao comes on. So they're the subs coming through. We've got 11 minutes remaining of this one. Can they hold this one out, Sydney FC? Hills are about to make a change too as well. I think that's going to be Dylan Yarko about to come on. Looks like Dylan Yarko is going to come on. Right side they come again. Jen. Casserly. Hills. Looking for something here. Jen will have to set up for Killshaw. Killshaw, Giovanni's backtracking, but he will have possession. Looks it back inside. Killshaw crosses it in, but again, Kadulsic, who's been dominant today for Sydney FC. Left centre back has been very good. He's on the left side. Goes away up. Moves it back in. Finds Callaghan. Callaghan coming back. Middleton working it right. Now can't win control. The ball goes back to Middleton. Middleton again. Looking to work it back right side. It goes from Quintal, Mao, Quintal. Quintal's got Mao. Mao on the right. Mao again going forward. Mao takes a shot himself. Goes out for a goal kick. Another sub being made. And Yako to come on. Killshaw to come off. And the captain's armband goes on Giovanni.
Number 19, Glenn Killshaw. Replacement number 39.
He has it anyway, as O'Connor trying to work it up. Kadulsic played it straight back. Bit of tennis in that situation. As again, a chance for Hills to build again. Trying to work out if that's fireworks going off somewhere. Tuesday night, I wouldn't think fireworks would be going off. Does sound like it. As referee gets a touch. How about that? He'll allow Giovanni to have it. A free ball. Giovanni takes it and works it on to the right. The Sunday Yona. Sunday Yona works it back inside. O'Connor. Actonese found support. Good ball by Philp back inside. Trying to drive himself, O'Connor. Kadulsic eventually clears it. And again, Jen will have to reload to Frangie. Back to Jen. Jen coming left. And now a chance again. Actonese. They're on the left side. O'Connor works it on. Yeah, it's a decent ball. Bukowski's trying to find himself forward, but he couldn't do much with the ball. And now we see a chance for Mao to set up for Sydney FC. Callaghan has it. Callaghan going right, a little bit too much. Going to get to the end of it, Quintal. Long day of football tomorrow. When I say a long day, we'll have 7 games in the one night. Over a 3-hour window. Which is going to be great for football fans on a Wednesday night. It's now Frangie, couldn't do much with it. And again, Sydney FC rolling forward. Kennedy taking down the challenge here. Had to be called, and this is going to be a card. O'Connor will get a yellow card. There it is. O'Connor gets a card against his name. Wind continues to pick up. Good evening of football, though it's been. As I said, continues tomorrow. 7 games. I'll be at Wanderers Football Park for Wanderers and Central Coast Mariners. Good to be out at the Academy tomorrow. That game exclusively live, I remind you. more information about the game itself, jump on the Football New South Wales website. Blacktown City play Manly United 7:30 tomorrow. Marconi Sydney Olympic 7:30. United and Spirit 7:30. Wollongong Sutherland at 7:30. 7:45 RPS St George City and Saints and Rockdale here tomorrow night at 8 p.m. They're the games coming up. What a big week for football. Yona. Casawaya was doing well initially. He's also trying to get himself involved defensively. Ball's played on. And again, Rose is able to find support. Quintal was beaten. Good work by Castley, the pressure. Even still, Hills will have it again. Sydney FC briefly had it as well, he tried to work it on Philp. And it's played on by Giovanali. Yona. It does touch off Sydney FC. Will be a corner on this near side. Things can still happen in this game late in the piece. You just never know in a big city. One goal can lead to two, maybe leads into three. You just never know what's going to happen for Hills. (3-1) here. Sydney FC lead. Franchi takes the corner. Yona was about to set himself up. The problem was there was a defender there. Callaghan works it back. Quintal touches on. Kasawaya goes to the right. Callaghan back. Kasawaya utilises Mao. Mao cuts inside. He might have a shot here. No, he doesn't. He sets himself up again, and the shot is skyward. Goes out for a goal kick. Trying to set up here late in the piece. Sydney FC will have a go again. Now. Nobody at the far post. Goes out for a goal kick. Well, yeah, eventually does. It's watching the ball roll sideways. Nearly taking a spin that I wasn't expecting. Rightio. Injury time. Be intriguing how long there is left. Still 3 minutes of regulation time. Franchi comes back. With the ball on from Jen. And then Casserly utilising Pekovsky. Casserly will have it again. Casserly will boot it to the left. And again, Philp will have it. Philp wanted to have a go. He didn't. Good pressure. Challenge that does see a foul go the way of Sydney FC. The All Whites tonight. He was taken down the challenge. Quintal. As I said, tomorrow night, St George will play Rockdale. Saints and Rockdale here. That's your feature. So one of the features. That's the feature here at Rockdale anyway. So many games for you. City FC Spirit, the match of the round. Ball was played out for a throw on this near side. Wanderers and Mariners, as I said, I'll be at tomorrow. That's a fascinating game for the Mariners. Game that they have to win too. I'm really enjoying this promotion relegation situation, because obviously you'll have a situation in the League One competition where obviously Team A goes up. Team that's second will be in a pro reg game with the 15th place team of NPL men's. I really love this whole situation. It continues to build. I've got to be honest, I get, and battles for the premiership are always sensational, but I do love the battle of the relegation, staying out of the relegation zone. As Yona goes forward, Yona trying to penetrate it forward again. He couldn't get to it. There is a goal coming for Hills still. Like, I think there's a goal in this game, regardless, coming up. The question will be who. As we're about to see a substitution, it will be in Buffet. Buffet comes, about to come onto the field. Coming off will be Quintal. So that's your sub. But yeah, as I said, I do love the battle for relegation. I know that some people would say, geez, you're sick to really love the relegation battle, but I really do, because you see desperate but good football, and that's what we're seeing tonight, because both sides know what's on the line coming up. It's a good shot that goes over the top. Bailey Callaghan was going to deviate. We'll see how long injury time is here. Hopefully that board can spin around to tell us how long of injury time we've got. So we've got 3 minutes. That's right, we've got 3 minutes of injury time. So we'll see that also was put down. Which helps. Ball was played up the line by Casserly. Sydney FC going forward. Can you get on to the end of this? Buffet goes out for a throw. Well, Sydney FC, this is a job well done there. Next couple of weeks, they play Mariners at Plume Park on Saturday. That's a Sunday game, I should say. That's a really good game coming up. And that almost helps Sydney FC with the win today, and if they can beat the Mariners, then they can really start to push away from the relegation or even pro-reg battle. That'll be big for them. Then they take Wanderers away, followed by Marconi at home. That's here. And then they play St George City away. It's a big couple of weeks coming up for Sydney FC. Hills, well, they've got a fascinating couple of weeks as well. Sydney United on Saturday night too. He's the corner. It's an out swinger. Yona couldn't do much really with it. Frangie. Sydney FC will try to go down this right side. Running on his Mathai. Mathai can't get to it. Comes back for Ryan Wood for Hills. So that Hills month ahead. They play Sydney United on Saturday at Landon, followed by Wollongong the next week. Then they play Rockdale here, and then they end up at Cromer Park against Manly. Big couple of weeks for them, or big month for them, as Yona looks to cross it in. Backheel by Giovanelli, didn't quite work. Does come back for Callaghan. Sydney FC looking to come down Main Street again. Mathia will try to work it across the face. This is good skill by Mao. Mao will try to have a shot, does deflect off Hills. It's been a contest that Sydney FC will be happy about as that ball goes out. They're going to get the 3 points. And that ladder now is very intriguing. Continues to really mount against the Mariners. Mariners need to win tomorrow night. I think that's simple as that. Sydney FC today, they have moved up to 14th place. Remember, Sutherland's got that game tomorrow against Wollongong. This ball comes back, and Wollongong, but then they're battling obviously to try to get into the finals as Frangie tried an almighty, didn't quite work. The ball bounces down. Williams has been everywhere today. Now has it on the right side. Whistle blown, full time. Sydney FC 3, Hills 1. The goal scorers, Fryer 2 and McAllister 1 for Sydney FC. And the sole goal for Hills United was in Byron Gin. So full time 3-1. I'll repeat the ladder now after what has been an intriguing night. Rockdale lead on 41, Apia second on 37, with the Wanderers on 37 in third place. Blacktown in fourth on 34 alongside Marconi. Sydney United in sixth on 30 points alongside St George City. Then it's Wollongong 26, Manly 23 in 9th, Olympic 10th on 22, St George FC 11th on 21. Then it's Spirit in 12th on 18, equal to Hills. That loss for Hills is actually not a great situation for them. The Sydney FC now 4 points behind, 14 in 14. Then it's Sutherland 15th in 13 or with 13 points. And then Mariners last on 8 points. So very intriguing. This will really go down to the wire, both the battle up top and the battle below. It's going to be a cracking end of the season as we continue. As I said, I'll be at the game between Wanderers and Mariners tomorrow. That, as I said, big battle. Wanderers looking to continue the fight for the premiership. Mariners just want to get away from the relegation zone, so they're going to be in there for a while. And then the other games that continue before we leave: Blacktown Manly 7:30 tomorrow, Marconi and Olympic 7:30, United Spirit 7:30, Wollongong Sutherland 7:30 tomorrow, Apia St George 7:45 tomorrow, and St George FC and Rockdale at 8 p.m. I'll be at Wanderers and Mariners. Myself, Nicholas Gutniak, and the team. We sign off and we'll say good evening, and we'll chat to you tomorrow from Wanderers Football Park. Bye-bye for now.